9 teams this week, 9 games in which the line is either 5.5 points or more. So 9 potential for those of you lucky enough to be alive in Survivor. And this kid right here is one of them, one of the remaining 4,000 plus in Circa Survivor. These are the 6 teams. Let's start with the 6 of those 9 that are 5.5, lined as 5.5 point favorites or greater, that I would not consider playing, Kelly, this week.
All right.
These are the 6 of the 9 that I would not consider playing. First, Kansas City Omaha Chiefs. 10-point favorites against the Washington Commodores. Now, you say to yourself, why wouldn't you? I mean, Washington's probably not going to have Jaden Daniels. By the way, Jaden Daniels, MRI negative, not as serious as was feared, but we don't know if he's playing this week. The only reason, again, in Circa Survivor that I wouldn't play this, and this is a very Circa Survivor specific commentary here, is because you do have them Thanksgiving at Dallas. Not sure I would play them there, but you do have them Christmas hosting Denver. And just in case things break in a way where you want to save them, I don't know that I would shoot my bullet on the Chiefs here. I just don't know that I would. If you are in a non-Circa Survivor contest, absolutely I would play them. But in a Circa Survivor one, I don't think I would. Plus, there is a game at Tennessee in Week 16 as well. So I'm just saying they're not the best choice for Circa purposes.
Well, and geez, even Raiders Week 18 maybe, right?
Yeah, but Week 18 is squirrely.
Yeah.
So you don't want to really consider
that,
Week 18s. Okay, next team that I would not consider of the 9, the Philadelphia Eagles. 7-point favorites against the Giants. Obviously, they got housed by the Giants 10 days. You know, what is it? Was it the Thursday night football game here a couple weeks back? But I would be saving the Eagles for the Thanksgiving quirk. They play the day after Thanksgiving. They host the Chicago Bears, so the Eagles are a no-go for me here. Oh, by the way, they also play the Raiders later, but it's really to save them for Thanksgiving.
That's the one. Unlike the Chiefs last week, yeah. I can confidently say I'm saving the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think that's a total save. Okay, third of the big favorites that I would not play in Survivor is the Buffalo Billiards. If you still have the Bills left, they're at Carolina here. They're 7.5-point favorites. They do have an at Miami later in Week 10, a couple weeks later. I just have a funky feeling about this. I would not feel really confident about the Bills going into Carolina, probably because I'm traumatized by previous Bills choices in previous years, but they are not the best choice either. If you wanted to play them, I don't think it's the worst pick in the world, but I just think there are better choices. Number, what are we up to? 4 now that I'm not playing? Or 5?
4.
4 of the 6 that I wouldn't consider of the big favorites. The Baltimore Ravens, who are hosting the Chicago Bears. They're 6.5-point favorites. Yes, they host the Bengals on Thanksgiving. That's a reason to save. Plus, they have other games here in the next month at Miami, at Cleveland, hosting the Jets, for God's sakes, Week 12. But the main reason I won't play the Ravens here, Kelly, is we don't know who's playing.
Yeah, if you still have the Ravens available like I do, Gill, I think it's, hey, let's take all the time you need to round into form. Absolutely. I hope to have you available down the road, but you need to get back to looking like a good football team.
100%. So that's 4 of the 6 that I would not consider playing in Circa Survivor. Number 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are so banged up at this point. Again, after last night, no Mike Evans now, broken clavicle, concussed. They're favorites at New Orleans. By the way, this is 5.5. I'm not sure it's 5.5 anymore. I'd have to check on this.
Come down a little bit.
But if for no other reason, you have a home game against New Orleans Week 14.
Yeah.
So they're an easy cross-off, are the Buccaneers.
And you got the bye after this week, right? You're kind of limping into that, it feels like.
Oh, total limp in. Okay, and then the 6th of the 6 teams of 5.5-point favorites or greater that I would not play this week, the New England Patriots, who are hosting the Cleveland Browns. Except that they host the Jets and the Giants, weeks 11 and 13. Do I like the prospect of playing against the Browns over the Jets? I do not. So while I wouldn't hate you for playing it, I still think there are 3 other teams from which I would play Survivor. And those 3 teams are, and we'll see if Kelly's match with these. I have a feeling they won't match entirely. The 3 teams, let's start with one of them here. By the way, here's just a recap of the Survivor teams I'm not considering. Patriots, Chiefs, Eagles, Bills, Ravens, Buccaneers. Patriots hosting Cleveland, Chiefs hosting Washington, Eagles hosting the Giants, Bills at Carolina, Ravens hosting the Bears, and the Bucs at New Orleans. Now, the three teams I am considering, or I would consider if I were still in this thing. I keep having to remind myself I'm not in this, Kelly. The Colts are the obvious choice, right? The Colts are 2 touchdown favorites hosting the Titans.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the Titans. There is no other obvious place to play them either.
I think they have. I mean, I used them already.
Let's put it this way. That's the only thing that will mute this selection. So the Colts are the most obvious of all choices.
It's a good question, though. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I mean, geez, between that Raiders-Cardinals games, I think they've been used a fair amount.
All right, this might surprise some people, but the Falcons I would have to consider too, 7.5-point favorites over the Dolphins. Yes, there is a game hosting Carolina later, week 11. That's a division game. Some people hate that. Yes, there is a game at the Jets, week 13. And then week 18, once again, squirrely week, hosting New Orleans. You kind of want to avoid week 18 as a rule. My point here is that at some point you're going to feel uncomfortable. At some point you're probably going to have to use them. Why not use them now with the lame duck, Mike McDaniel, and this Dolphins outfit? So I'd have to consider a Falcons play in addition to a Colts play. And then the other team, the final team that I would consider besides the Colts and the Falcons here is and this is really just, I was surprised with 9 teams, I only would consider 3. It's the Bengals. The Bengals, who are 6.5-point favorites against the Jets. Yes, they host the Bears week 9. Yes, they're at Miami week 16, and they host the Browns week 18. Why not now against this Jets outfit? We don't know who's starting at quarterback for the Jets. We don't know if it's going to be Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor. Taylor scares me more, to be honest. But I think the Bengals have extra rest here. It's Flacco with these receivers, and I think you're going, again, same thing as with the Falcons. You're going to be uncomfortable at some point using a team.
Yep.
For me, it's the Colts, Falcons, Bengals bucket from which I would consider a survivor pick. You have one entry. Who are you considering?
I have one entry, Gill, and it is 2 of the 3 that you mentioned.
Oh, wow.
Bengals, Falcons. I think you have to. Like you said, you have to at least think about it. I think the Bengals... They're both going to be stressful, right? The Falcons, I think they're a little bit of a mess right now with Penix back there at quarterback, but Miami's in complete free fall, so you have to consider it. Bengals, there's a couple of those spots down the road that maybe if Burrow comes back late.
I think if not now, when?
But you got to think about it this week with the Jets being as bad as they are. And then the Patriots I have up there because what I did last week was to position myself to at least have the Patriots available to play this week.
And you already used the Colts, so you can't use them.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at 0 cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.